the question is, has there ever been a Bears quarterback, rookie QB specifically, that has had more pressure on him to be successful than Caleb Williams? Steven, you're giving a look over there.
No, that was unrelated.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I thought I blew the topic. I'm good to know that I didn't. I thought that maybe the topic could change. But so this, and it hasn't, because this was my brilliant topic, because I'm a brilliant podcast host. But so, and like, you look back on it, and we're bending this a little bit to throw Jay Cutler in here too, because that was the biggest day in Bears quarterback history when they made that trade.
Right.
But if you look at what Caleb is being tasked to do, one, replace Justin Fields, who I don't know if you guys remember, but he was a very popular guy by about, I don't know, half the fan base, if not more. And we were screamed at from all angles last year whenever we pointed out something that wasn't going right with Justin.
You ruined him. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, right. It was our fault. And the rest of the media's fault too. And it had nothing to do with Justin and or the Bears.
I'm fine blaming Patrick Finley if that's what we're going to do.
That's fine. But so he's got to replace Justin. He's got to jump right in, start week 1, go get him, beat the Titans, win now week 1, win now this year. Bears are expected to win this year.
Right.
Ryan Poles has said improvement. But the bottom line is everybody, they don't want to necessarily say it, but they want to be a playoff team right now. So there's that. And then let's go into Hard Knocks. The Chicago Bears, who have editorial authority, allowed Ray Clay to come in there and do the Michael Jordan introduction.
And now. The greatest quarterback in Chicago Bulls Bears history.
Let's feel comfortable to compare Caleb to the greatest player who ever played anything, and is the big and erased Al Capone as the main talking point of this city across the world. Let's put him up on that pedestal before he's played a game. Let's go ahead and do that. Then you got national guys like my good friend Nick Wright, who's I'm a national FS1 guy. Why don't we just pick the Bears to be in the Super Bowl?
Danny Parkins dialing it up every day.
Danny Parkins missing, being a Chicago guy, loving it on the national scene. All he's going to do is seemingly talk about Caleb Williams.
It's like a Chicago local show, national. Though.
Right. I mean, this is it.
Shout out to Danny.
And it's like, and you look at the win thing. Well, I mean, last year they improved 4 wins from 3 to 7. They probably should. They should at least improve like 3-4 wins again. So 10-11 win team. It would be like near impossible for there to be more pressure on this guy.
Yep.
And by the way, I think he's built for it. I'm not super worried about it, but like, this is not like Mitch Trubisky.
No.
And they make the trade of the Niners. They send the 3rd overall. They send the 3rd and the 4th round pick and a 2018 3rd, if you remember. But Mike Glennon was the starter to start that season. And by the way, most Bears fans looked at the Bears cross-eyed, at least a lot of it. Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson? No one was saying Patrick Mahomes at that point, or very few. But, like, what are you, nuts? Like, we already knew the Bears got that wrong when they did it, except for a couple of people who, like, their entire year, they just thought every season was like, oh, no.
Right. I mean, let me lay it out.
Go ahead. Lay it out.
Right. Because what you're trying to say is there's no debate. This is the most pressure a Bears rookie quarterback has ever had, because this is a Bears rookie quarterback that's being put into high expectations right out the gate, week 1. Like there's no grace period of, okay, Mike Glennon's starting ahead of you, Andy Dalton started ahead of you, Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky, they got to wait their turn, even though we all wanted them to start right away. Well, regardless, the expectations weren't high for either of those teams in their rookie season. If you want to compare where the pressure meets for any Bears quarterback in a specific season, it would be Justin Fields last year in his 3rd year. That was high pressure for him. It would be Mitch Trubisky in his 3rd year after they made the playoffs. High pressure. He folded. And it would be Jay Cutler in his 1st year as the Bears quarterback when we traded for him from Denver as a guy that had made a Pro Bowl. And then he proceeded to throw 26 interceptions, 27, I think. And so those guys, they didn't, once it was money on the table time, they all crumbled, right? So that's kind of the beauty of this moment. It's a lot of pressure for Caleb, but if he doesn't meet certain expectations, it's also not the end of, this is just the beginning, right? So we can push all our chips in. They can have high expectations as a team, but there's also a bigger picture at play. So I think that's kind of what they have to kind of hold them up at the end of the day.
Yeah, if you're saying that the holdup is that there's a grace period here, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yes, we want them to win. Of course, we'll be disappointed if he doesn't. Of course, if he doesn't completely meet our highest expectations, Caleb Williams here in this first year, it's also not going to be the end of the world, barring it looking catastrophic.
Yeah,
I mean, Jay Cutler threw 27 interceptions, and he got very good as the years went on. They almost got to a Super Bowl. He did start to. He's the best Bears quarterback of my lifetime, so he did start to play much better than that first year he played. It didn't ruin him here in Chicago. And neither of us are big Cutler fans. Don't make me defend Jay Cutler.
Well, you just went down a row where you're making me want to point out. Jay Cutler when he got here, he had thrown 54 touchdown passes and 37 interceptions, and then he proceeded to throw 154 and 109 when he was with the Bears, the exact same ratio that he did as starting out in Denver. I can't with Cutler, but that's not the point of this thing. The point I think you teed it up dead on as far as when the pressure hit, but those guys had been in the league. The difference is, though, Jay Cutler was a diva in Denver. They threatened, it was maybe the greatest thing that Josh McDaniels ever did.
He wouldn't listen to John Lynch.
Yeah, well, it was the greatest thing that Josh McDaniels ever did. He's like, I want to talk to Matt Castle about being a starting quarterback here. And Cutler freaked out and wouldn't talk to him and demanded a trade out the door. The guy was always unstable. Justin, to me, there's a difference in how Caleb is handling that spot than the way Justin did. That's not to take a shot at Fields, but I think we can all see a maturity level that is just elevated from the last situation. And Mitch was, nowhere close to being able to handle ultimately everything that came here, turning the TVs off and everything else. This guy, it feels like, as far as the grace period, forget about all of that. I just think if things go south for Caleb at the start of his career, he throws 3 picks on Sunday, they lose a bad game to the Titans. I would be shocked if he turtled up and crumbled at any point. Like, this guy has been working on himself both on and off the field for so long that it just feels like he's ready to handle all that's going to come with it.
We all silly like the mayor.